Okay, good morning. If you are going to look, this is the proposed itinerary for 3 days, 2 nights, along with the important endorsement. So usually, when you are proposing a tour itinerary, dapat ara kita na nakabutang. So you have to make sure that the places that you are going to visit is all stated diri sa inyong proposal. So whatever is written here sa inyong proposed itinerary should be followed. So it doesn't necessarily mean nga pasunudon nyo gid ini, but you have to make sure that whatever is in your itinerary dapat makadtuan nyo gid, because we don't want to have a precedent, or we don't want to have sang matawag kita sang guest nga nagbuhin kita sang itinerary, no? So better get okay lang if you add up. So kung nagdugang kamo sang itinerary, that's fine. Pero sa inyo nga original nga quotation, kung ano ang inyo nga ginbutang, dapat amo gid na dapat ang inyo nga sundon. Okay? So first here sa day first naton, December 1. So arrival in Rojas City, and then they have late breakfast or early lunch depending on the arrival time. So kung arrive sila 7 in the morning, so that would be late breakfast. Or kung mag-abot sila mga 10:30, so that can be an early lunch na. So remember sa aton nga inclusions, the full board is included. So the first meal will be served on the day sang ilang arrival. Okay? And they first here proceed to hotel for check-in and then freshen up, and then proceed with Rojas City tour and Panay to visit the following. So whatever is stated here, I'm sure nga familiar ka mo, no? So the Panublian Museum, Santa Monica Church in Panay, Sacred Heart of Jesus Monument and Pueblo de Panay Complex, and then Capiz Provincial Park, Paypay and Dumulog Market, Banica Dried Fish Market, and then if possible, meet and greet with Mayor and or Governor plus Tourism Officer of Capiz, the Immaculate Conception Cathedral, Pasalubong Center, and then we have lunch at Palina Floating River Restaurant with the river tour. Okay, so that would be the itinerary for first day, and then please do not forget nga i-add ninyo ang inyong dinner. Okay, so on the day first na siya. On day second and then day third, it's stipulated here. So ang day second naton is after breakfast, pick up from hotel and proceed to Cuartero Capiz, and then visit Capiz Ecology Park and Cultural Village to visit and experience the following. So traditional games, mga dance, dira sa aton sa, that's in Cuartero. Experience of Bordon, Loa, Harana, making of do-it-yourself native delicacies, and then actual interaction with Panay Bukidnon, which is the indigenous people of Capiz. And then we have lunch in Capiz Ecology Park, back to Rojas City to freshen up, and then proceed to El Circulo Convention Center for fellowship and dinner. So this would be the last night sa mga student. So we are going to have an activity. So it can be a fellowship dinner, a team building, whatever, or a program para nga ma-maximize sa mga bata ang ilang visit sa Rojas City. And then on day third, if taking PAL or Air Asia, that's AM flight. So you have to consider kung ano oras sila sugaton sa airport. Because of course, the flight um, should be at least 2 hours prior sa flight. Dapat ara na ang imo mga guest, ang imo nga mga clients sa airport. And then if taking Cebu Pacific, which is has an afternoon flight, then pwede pa kita maka half-day tour before we proceed to airport for your flight back to Manila. So this is subject to change, especially that the airline schedule is also constantly changing. So amo ini guys ang kin-prepare ko no nga itinerary for 3 days, 2 nights, and this will be your pattern when you are going to have your own tour package. So ang inyong nga tour package nga na will be presented as your final output sa inyong finals, and if you have any questions on that one, please do let me know. Now, with the important endorsement, it is also very necessary to include everything sa inyong proposal. So ano ini ang mga important nga mga endorsement? So example diri, no booking has been made yet. So, since the file nga ginpakita ko sa inyo is just a quotation or a proposal, wala pa gid sang actual booking that was made. So flight seat will depend on flight availability. You have to make sure nga naintindihan ini sang inyong client, otherwise base mag-assume sila nga ma-Philippine Airlines sila or ma-Cebu Pacific or ma-Air Asia, and wala pa yasang guaranteed nga seats. So you have to inform them nga unless they come up with a deposit, wala pa gid kamo yasang any booking nga pwede obrahon. The same also with the accommodation. So no booking has been made for accommodation yet. Hotel and rooms will depend on availability. We will require 50% down payment to secure booking. So 50%, so that's 7,500 kada tao, I guess. And then it should be non-refundable but can be used as travel fund in case of all, for whatever reason, the tour did not materialize due to reasons beyond our control. So force majeure, acts of God, strikes, rebellion, pandemic, health-related issues, death, cancellation of flights not attributable to travel agency. And then the remaining 50% must be paid 60 days prior to the commencement of the tour. We will give 4 free of charge for minimum 80 paying students. So the minimum nga 80 students must be met para makahatag sang FOC. So ang computation niya, for every 20 paying student, may ara isa ka free of charge. And then professors will have their sharing room, twin sharing, male, male, or female, female. So should the professor require individual rooms, please let us know ahead of time. And then memorandum of agreement, contract must be signed prior to payment, and all payment should be made by bank deposit only to the account of the travel agency and not to any individual. Okay? So, diri sa important endorsement, diri ninyo pwede ibutang ang tanan nga mga rules, regulations, etc. that you want to convey to your client. Diri tanan dapat, and then you have to make sure nga ang tanan ninyong endorsement, rules, regulations, policies are all clearly understood by the client, because we don't want nga mag-abot sa point nga ay wala man hinahambal sa amon, abi namon kung hindi kayo madayon pwede gali mag 50% down payment dayon, pwede gali siya ma-refund. So if it's non-refundable and then the client agree and then they signed for it, then that is non-refundable. So pwede lang siya, can be used as a travel fund. So you have to make sure of that one. Okay? So I guess that's all. If you have any other questions, please do let me know sa aton nga group chat, and then I'll be happy to discuss everything sa inyo during sa aton nga next nga live class. Okay? Thank you so much, everyone.